Welcome everybody to the CKB-RC channel. Today we are going to assemble some tracks for a TRX4m. Here we have an entire kit. We have the paddles, the drive gears, tracks, guides, pins, all the needed parts to put the tracks together. So we're going to start by assembling the tracks and the paddles, and then we'll assemble the tracks together, and then we'll build the drive gears. So let's get into it. Now that we have the paddles in, they just clip in here on the back side. Just push in, hold in. You know, they're 3D printed, they all stay together. We have to attach each of these in place now, and you just use a little tiny 20 gauge little piece of stainless wire, like hobby wire. So let's put these together and we will be right back.
I'm taking shots at the enemy. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything.
Alright, we have the tracks assembled. I did some of it off camera. Yeah, it turned into a nightmare, bending all these little things. Alright, so next I'm going to assemble the drive wheel. Sorry, my dogs are loud. And put all these wheels in, the drive wheel and all the supports. So I did the other 3 of these off camera. Putting this wire in here is a real chore. Getting it folded over and stuff. But yeah, these are all together now. So now we have to put the track on here. Like so. And then attach them this way. Run in there. Yeah. All right, so let's do it. All right, guys. I spent a couple hours. It was really finicky. So here we have tracks. Bolt on here. There's you can't really see them in here, but there's suspension lockouts, so there's no articulation to rub the fenders. They move a little bit, but it's not too bad. I think I might have to pull the bumper off. No big deal. Yeah. So I guess next is take it out, go play with it, drive it, see how it performs. Okay guys, I went to go test this and it didn't really move. So it was recommended to me to put these low speed gearing in the transmission. So here's the part number here, 9776R. Trax's part number, comes with 4 gears, pinion gear, which I believe is the same that's in their factory, and then these are your underdrive gears. So let's get this ready and we'll switch out some gears. Okay, so there's 2 screws here on the battery tray, and there's 4 screws that hold the transmission assembly in. And then you pull this out with your axles. So we'll hit a time lapse and I'll be right back. Alright, so you get the transmission out, and you have to take this drive and this drive off. There's one little screw here and here, and then these 4 screws here to pull the cover off. Alright, so we got the cover off. Here's the gears here. So I recommend taking them out one at a time to do them, or lay them out so they're all in order. So I'm going to take them out, lay them in order. I'll do it this way, like that. And you know which one goes in first, second, third. Go back in order the way they were. Thing here, we'll lay the gears out the way they are here. So that one, this middle one, and then this tiny guy. And this little gear here, the pinion gear, I believe is the same as what's in there. We're just going to double check right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 gears. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So spare, just in case, not needed to change. So let's put these gears back in. We'll do this one in real time. You guys get an idea how long it takes. This one in here, like so. This one off this shaft. It's fairly simple. This goes on this one here. Then we'll do this last one. And it only goes one way and it locks in there because I believe that's like your spur gear. Your main drive. So pull that one off the shaft, replace it with this one. Do the same thing. In there. And then we'll set the cap back on here. Got a seat in here. Stick in here a little bit. Okay, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we're back here. The gears just weren't meshing. So now we'll put this back together. I like to start them first a little bit, just to make sure you're not cross-threading or stripping them out. Personal preference. I really like to do everything by hand. So, screws in, we'll get those started here. Alright, we're all started, we get them tightened up. And because they are plastic, just go a little snug. But one thing to keep in mind is to make sure your gears are all meshed so you don't squish them in there. They are plastic, and you strip them out right away. And then you'll straight be back to square one. Alright, so now we'll do these. Put the drive shafts back on here. Okay, little screws back on here. Again, I wouldn't go too tight with these. Snug. So now here's one key factor of putting this back together. So when you put your motor and your transmission assembly back in, you have to make sure that these shafts are in phase. So the bolt and the bolt have to line up with the bolt and the bolt on the lower halves. So if you don't, it will bind and it won't run right. So again, these have to be in phase. So we got bolt and bolt lined up. Come on, get in there. These things are tricky. Okay, now I'm back. That was a little bit of a struggle bus there. Like I said, again, when you get these things in here, you got to make sure that those drive shafts are in phase, or it can make lots of drivetrain issues. So, you know, you get a little bolt here, a little bolt there, lined up, in phase. As long as you bolt this back into place. Again, start the bolts, make sure they go in nice. Then you can run them down, snug them in. Again, don't go too tight, it's just plastic. Strip them out really easy. That's it, just snug. I want to see you stripping out your parts and then having drivability problems. That's the worst when you're out playing. These go in with a little bit of an angle. Yes. Again, snug. Battery strap, slide that back on here. Battery, hold down, and there we have it. Fast gears, low gears. So I will reassemble, I'll put my tracks back on, and we will see you in the next one to see how it goes. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys want to see. Till next time.